Hello, Mom. This is a video to show you my garden. I wanted you to see if you were coming to Montreal, but you didn't, so decided to make you a small video to show you my achievement. So, this is a start of the visit. So you have a small lemon cucumber plant here, and some tomatoes. So what are special with these two is that they're bouture, basically. So I didn't plant the seed or a plant, I just kind of trimmed off a branch of that cucumber and a few branches of tomatoes on other plants I will show you after. And they grew pretty well in pretty much 2 weeks. So here, next thing you have, this is actually beets, but I think the squirrels ate all their leaves, so that's why you see only the stems basically, which is kind of a shame. Here you have some carrots and some beets starting to grow. That's why I put some kind of a chicken cage over, so so squirrels wouldn't come and destroy. Here you have a small épinette plant, which is not that healthy, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting to plant it, and it keeps its needles in winter, which is always nice when all other plants lose their leaves. So here you have some parsley which has flowered a lot since it's been hot. I should maybe cut those flowers, but at the same time, it's the end of the season, and I'm always happy pollinators like those flowers, so I'll probably let some of it. Here you have a gigantic basil plant. I'll explain you how to make a gigantic basil plant one day if you want, but just to compare, here's about the size of my hand, and the plant is pretty big. Next here you have some mint, which I let flower because bees love that too, pollinators love that. So there's the mint in a pot so it doesn't kind of, go everywhere. Here you have some peppers which are just starting to actually give peppers, which you can see here. Pretty nice, waiting those. Here are more tomatoes made from bouture, basically. Same thing as the plant that was over there. Behind that, you kind of can't see it that much. It didn't grow a lot, but there's some English lavender here. Right next to that is a few dahlia plants. So you have a dahlia here. It's nice big flower. There are a lot of other ones here. Flowers are kind of all mixed up here, so I'll kind of try to go slowly explain. So here's another dahlia plant, of course, with nice big flowers. Pollinators sort of like that, but maybe not that much. So here you have more this pink flowers. Now it's mixed dahlias, so they kind of give it. Here you have a pink flower. Here you have an orange one. Here you have purple, and here's some red. So there you go, a few dahlias. Between that is some cosmos. Here you can see with the orange flowers. They're all orange. They kind of been overshaded, so they don't produce that much flowers anymore. But they used to at the beginning, maybe beginning of the summer, like July, something like that. And there's some also, well, there's some marigolds here, which are, overgrown also, overshaded, I mean, but they're still producing nice flowers. And here it's been overshaded also, but you have what's the name of that? I kind of forgot. Right. Oh yeah, it's a Rudbeckia. Yeah, Rudbeckia. There you go. Is that it? Yeah, Rudbeckia hirta. That's what it's called. Yeah. So here's another. Oh, there's some tomatoes, which I'll show you after. Another marigold, some Capucine. Here's some other Capucine. It's been attacked by a lot of aphids, but this is the only plant that's been attacked by aphids, so I guess it's good. They're not going on any other. Here you can kind of see them there. I don't know if it's bright enough. Anyways, here's another dahlia growing. Here, I'll kind of zoom out a bit so you can see. This is what this looks like. There you go. That's kind of the first part. So now this is the interesting part, which I'll show you. It's kind of enormous. So you see the climbing plants all going up all the way, all the way, all the way. I'll try to find a better view. There, you see? Wow. So that is some white beans I planted, and also forgot that name, but those climbing plants, which you'll recognize the flowers, that grows near the garage in Fontainebleau. So kind of mixed together, you have the climbing plants I was talking about in Fontainebleau. These nice kind of trumpet flowers, which are really nice. And here are the flowers of the beans. So beans and the climbing plant are kind of climbing together on this big. It's actually ropes I attached to the top of the. Well, anyways, I'm kind of losing my word. To the top of the grillage. I'll say the French one. That goes all the way up a few levels. That might be, I don't know, 4 or 5 meters high. Yeah, something like that. And these are actually giving nice bean pods. Here you can see a bean pod here, which are enormous, really enormous. Here's other bean pods. Here, more bean pods. Bean pods. Oh, there's a bee doing its job. Liking the trumpets. Okay, so that's the exciting climbing plants, which are probably my best achievement this year, and which my neighbors and roommates like a lot. It kind of gives some shade in the summer. It's pretty cool. I never realized it would grow that big. I kind of planted beans in the soil maybe 2 months ago, and in 2 months it got pretty enormous. Pretty enormous. Anyways, I'm really happy with that. That's the best achievement probably. Okay, to the next part now. So here we have a little potager. So this is a pepper plant, and this is what happens when you put my roommates and neighbors kind of, ditched empty bottles of alcohol here. So here what happens on a plant when there's too much alcohol in the soil. See, it's kind of like, I don't know, looks bad, looks sick. Will probably never give me a pepper. Anyways, I just let it there in case. Here's a sunflower, kind of, started to grow late, but it's looking pretty nice. Maybe I could have a small sunflower flower before the fall comes. Not sure though. We'll see. Looks like it's starting to form though. So after you have more beans going on the wall, which start from the back, and why I do that is so they give nitrogen to the other plants basically. So here you have more capucine, of course. This one is going pretty nice, and I think the aphids are not attacking it too much, so it's pretty cool. Here, some chives, of course, which are kind of growing a bit, but they're kind of overshaded too, so I don't think they're that happy. But oh well, I can still use them. And here is the first you can see is the cucumbers. See, lemon cucumbers. They have this. They taste like normal cucumbers, but they have a lemon look-like, so I guess that's what they called. And they're pretty productive, but I think the plants are very sick. You can see here on the plants, I'm not really sure what that is, but I think it's a mushroom kind of like killing the plants. Well, maybe you can tell me if you know. It looks like mosaic or something like that. I don't really know, but I think it's kind of a fungal sickness of the plant, which you can see on the other leaves here. Kind of all of them are affected. Well, except the top ones. And that's kind of normal since sicknesses usually go from the bottom of the plant to the top. But here you can see it's not that healthy, but it's producing a few cucumbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I don't know. It's productive, but it's kind of sick. And so next part here it's kind of everything's going together, but you have tomatoes, which you can see. Tomatoes growing. These are funny because I'd like to show you a full size one. Okay, here for example, you see they kind of take testicle form, so they're called. I call them testicle tomatoes. There are more that are kind of ripening. They're probably being eaten a bit by the squirrels. I wouldn't doubt that, but that's why. And they're having black spots. I think the black spots are from too much sun. Not sure though. And yeah, well, more tomatoes. Kind of wasn't there for 2 weeks, so I need to put some support back, some tutors. But I mean, they're kind of growing crazy, which is always interesting to see. Here is more tomatoes, and I have peppers, but these for some reason are not very. Oh, actually, here's one. I thought they were not very productive, but here's a pepper, and probably more in the shade. Well, that was about the end of the visit. As much as I had done. Pretty proud of it, except especially those climbing plants. That's kind of crazy. And so this is what kind of my terrace looks like. This is shared between all the neighbors. And with the garden, this is what it looks like. It's pretty nice, huh? Yep. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So there you go, coin potager, as I say. And then you have the flowers, the climbing plants, and this kind of a next on the side with aromats. Pretty cool. Well, anyways, I hope you're happy to have done this visit to you, and I've been a good guide. And lots of love, big kiss, and happy gardening.